Okay, so if you notice anything, damn it, that was a dumb idea. Okay, if you notice anything weird, yeah, I'm playing with full screen now, and so I don't have my bearings. Hold on. Let me go to a more chill place and just try to explain all of this. So yes, I'm playing with full screen now with my tablet held vertically as opposed to no. I'm playing with full screen by using my tablet held horizontally as opposed to vertically like I did last time, which gave me a small screen. And if there was a way to make these buttons invisible, I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I did try to place them somewhere that would put them relatively not in the way so that the buttons aren't just being a nuisance. However, if you do have a problem with these buttons and you feel like they're obstructing the actual game, please let me know. But outside of that notion, I do think that I have some explaining and apologizing to do. So, in my defense and this whole side of things, I'm trying this out, this whole video thing, and I set all this up without really knowing how it works. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, and in my offense, that was probably not a very good idea, because I didn't know about a lot of the rules of how any of this works, and it only recently occurred to me after trying to upload part 2 for the first time that I cannot yet upload a video that exceeds 15 minutes. I have to verify my account in order to do that. And that is what I'm trying to do this very night of me recording. And hopefully I will get that all sorted out so I can upload longer videos. But I think even though it has made a sort of an excuse to kind of disappear for a while, it hasn't really. And I think I owe an apology. And after I get all this fixed up and ready to go and ready to upload longer videos, which I want to upload longer videos, I will try to upload way faster. But I made a mistake, and now I'm trying to get back on track, because I don't think I have a very good excuse to just throw one video out there and then disappear. But we're only going at 4 minutes right now. My point is, I just wanted to apologize and explain why I thought it was okay to just throw one video out there. But now we're back to doing this. I've still lost all the muscle memory playing on a touchscreen emulator. But other than that, it's going okay. I also restarted the game to do a new playthrough in this with widescreen, and because I realized that even if I could have uploaded part 2, I got rid of it, luckily, before I did so, because looking back on it, it looked really stupid. So I'm glad that didn't happen initially. Ah! But I'm here now, and I'm trying to make a solid series of videos on this Castlevania game. I also found a remedy for the issue of not having a game I was unfamiliar with that I could get an emotional reaction out of, really. And I think I've fixed that problem because I found an interesting horror game, which I haven't even remembered the name of, but oh well, we'll get to it in due time. I have heard a few good things about it, and I'm excited to touch on that and do a playthrough on that as well, perhaps. I also think that it would just be better to make the videos as a whole and by default more interesting, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that. So it would be great to get a little feedback and support on this, to get a few ideas of what you think would just spice this up a bit, because right now, I think, since I've already played it and all, I think my playthrough and commentary right now is going to be incredibly vanilla. And I don't really like that. I think that's boring, and I want something better. But I don't have many ideas. Maybe guests would help. Just another person to pop in there and give their own side of the coin and see how I'm doing. Maybe they'll have something interesting to say, an interesting story to tell. Other than that, though, it is just kind of getting to the levels of boredom that I experienced in the last video, huh? Because I just can't really... My main problem is I don't have a whole lot to talk about unless... Well, okay. What if I took the time to just give a little more backup on the game, though? Maybe that would help. So, in case you haven't already realized, this is a game that fits into the subgenre of Metroidvania, which was given that nickname by Super Metroid to do it first primarily, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night on the PS1 to do it better. I think, anyway. Because, well, they all take the idea of exploring in a 2D place that you have pretty much free reign over, and getting through to the next area is all about just finding another way to proceed, a new ability that makes everything a little more accessible as well gives you a bit more leeway in what you're actually capable of doing. And that is, well, to summarize on an incredibly basic level, what you do in every game of this subgenre. You explore as much as you're physically capable of doing so, get a little stronger, find something that makes you a little stronger, and find stuff that lets you go places you couldn't before. Lather, rinse, repeat, and somewhere, somehow, you're going to be at the end of the game. And, well, sometimes I wondered if that would get a bit boring, but with this type of game, it's just an interesting of enough concept on its own that apparently it's just not the thing that really gets old for people, because it's fun knowing that you're making such physical progression in a variety of ways. And this game will often tease you too, which is something I find to be highly fascinating about it. You'll see things that you can't get yet, but you know you'll be able to get them eventually, and it always gets you something or other to look forward to in these kinds of games. And I think that's one of the reasons that people like them, is because it starts good and it only gets better in that regard. But with this series of game in particular, I think there are 8 of the Metroidvanias in Castlevania, and I'm not sure about that either, but this is one of 6 handheld titles. 3 of them were on the Game Boy Advance, like this one, and the other 3 were on the DS. A common complaint I see, though, with this genre, and with me personally, since I'm not very good at video games, I can entirely see where people are coming from, is that it's just too easy sometimes, and that is, well, that's basically inevitable. More on that later. So, this is the new face in town of our cast of characters running into Soma. This is Graham Jones. He's a missionary, apparently. And I'm tempted to make a joke about this guy's face, especially after watching Picaspri's video, but just in case, I don't think it would be a very good idea to spoil anything just yet. Dracula was killed in 1999. The prophecy of 1999 says... There's still more to the story, apparently. In the year 2035, this year, in fact, a new master will come to the castle, and he will inherit all of Dracula's powers. Yep. We won't really need to be careful. And now I'll finish explaining why. So, as you do in fact only get stronger and you're able to progress farther, that's when the game can start getting a bit mindless. And the particular problem with that is that a game is supposed to get harder as you go on, not easier. And also, I might throw some unnecessary fits here and there. I guess. So, by going into the soul set of the menu, you can change the different abilities that you get from killing monsters. Well, assuming you had any. And in this game, it shouldn't take you too long to get a hold of some. And I don't like these awkward silences any more than you do. It's just, I can't think of many interesting things to say. I don't know. You want to talk about coronavirus? 'Cause it's not really a problem for me personally. My grandma and I are basically hermits, so this isn't giving us too much distress. Or really any distress, actually. But I can understand why people are upset about everything that's currently going on. And, but just try to stay safe and stay healthy. Wash your hands, sanitize your hands. Don't go out in public unless it's to make money or spend money. Because the more bad decisions about this we choose to make, it's just going to last longer. And it's eventually going to get so bad that we're barely even going to be able to function. So, just please try and contribute to what's going on here, and just keep yourself and everyone out of harm's way. Also, if you want to talk about something good, let me tell you something I think everyone here can relate to. You ever just hear the sound of your own voice on a recording and think, killed me? Because let me tell you, I hear that a lot, and I feel that a lot. It's why I can barely even stand looking back on footage I made, because the sound on my voice on a recording is just that bad. I don't do much to make these videos interesting as is. When I have to listen to them to make sure that everything is at least okay, that's no fun. Another thing I think it would be nice is to pass this all off as not just a playthrough of a game, but a walkthrough to show you where a bunch of stuff is. Because then I wouldn't really need a reason to talk, and then I'd have an excuse to go quiet. But considering I'm not even showing you 100% of this in general, I don't think that's a very fair way out. Would be really nice to say, though. Alright. So, in this equip section, we have our weapon, our clothes, and an accessory. That's it. I also really want to try out this game's sequel, Dawn of Sorrow, but when I looked for that on Amazon, Why? Oh. Okay. I really didn't like this guy my first time. He is alright, though. Okay. In case you guys haven't figured it out by now, I'm too lazy to make a clever outro, so I'll just stand in the middle of the center of the room as possible, and bye.